إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. My respected brothers and my sisters, today as a medical doctor and as a family counselor, I would like to shed some light on a very important subject, on very important issue, important concern that we have in our communities at large. And as we all are confined to our homes, what we are noticing all around the world, that domestic violence issue is on rise. And as a Muslim, we are not immune to it. And when we talk about Muslim family does not mean that they will never have any issues. Muslim family is also a natural family. And if we look at in our history, that even in Sahaba's time, there were issues at their homes, and we see issues, even very good example of house of Hazrat Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu. And I will also say there were some some situations in the house of our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But having issues is not a problem. The thing is that how to handle it, how to deal with it. Right now the situation is all around the world that domestic violence has increased 20 to 30%. I was reading in Australia, the search for finding solution for domestic violence on internet search has gone up to 75%. In Canada, there are certain women shelters where their call rate has increased up to 400%. And we are seeing rise in divorce rate. We are seeing more child abuse in the families. I want to let you know one thing. We already have enough in our plate today. We have, financial issues, fear factor is there. We are going through a lot of pressure. It's like a pressure cooker situation. Too many things going on right now. So we do not want to increase any problem, any further problem what we already have on top of that. So we really want to go through next short time that I will give you some background, and then inshallah I will give you some tips that how we can handle these situations. Try to understand one thing, brothers, that there are sometimes situations that you and me, we do not have any control over it. We cannot change it. We have to learn how to handle it, to have a positive perspective of the situation. So we should be a problem solver. Sometimes you cannot do anything. This situation is there. Now you have to face it. So we all will learn, inshallah, in today's program how we can handle those situations. Life is, this is what all about. In life we will have challenges. Life will never be, always smooth. Only place where there is no issue, no argument, no problem is graveyard, cemetery, qabristan. There is no issue, no argument, everybody is sleeping. But when we live in a real world, we have to understand we may have broken glass. We cannot bring that glass back. We have to understand how we respond, the difference between reaction and response. Reaction is that there is an abrupt response from you without thinking about the consequences, without thinking what will happen next. And on the other hand, response is well thought, that you have already chosen your words, you have already thought about the situation, and now you want to give your opinion about something. Well calculated, well thought. Our problem is that most of the time we react, we do not respond. So we should teach ourselves whenever the situation happens that I'm going to respond, not react. Remember one more thing, brothers, that handle family issues with love. This is not a business transaction. Whenever we are dealing with family, never deal with family with your intellect and your brain. Always deal with family with love. Because family situation is not like how we deal with people outside our home. And also remember that whenever we are angry, there is a disconnect between us and our intellect and our logic. So whenever we are angry, we are not going to listen to any logic. Nothing will affect my intellect because I am at a different station, in a different mode when I am angry about something. And as a side note, whenever we are angry, this reflects our true personality. When I am angry, my anger will reflect who really I am from inside. So if you want to see my real picture, that who I am, then you should see me when I'm angry. So that is also a reminder for you and me that when we are angry, we should look and analyze ourselves, that what is my situation, my brothers and sisters. And also, before I go through some tips, remember one thing, brothers, that families, and I deal with these families every day in my practice, that families where you have domestic violence or broken families, the kids of that family, their life gets messed up. Their life gets shattered. Broken families and domestic violence families, the kids, they are lost basically between this struggle of fighting. So as a Muslim, and I will share with you that our homes should be the role model for the community. That Muslim families are the families, they resolve their issues and they live in peace. Whenever they have issues, they know how to handle it, how to have a civic, dialogue and civic way of resolving the issues. Here, Quran has given us, 3 ways when we deal with the family. In Surah Taghabun, ayah number 14, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a portion of the ayah, وَإِن تَعْفُوا وَتَصْفَحُوا وَتَغْفِرُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows our psychology. He knows our chemistry. And He is the one who can advise us the best solutions of our problem. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that ta'afu is pardon. Give your family some leniency. Give them some room to function. Excuse them. Forgive them. So this is ta'afu. What tasfa'u? Tasfa'u is that you overlook. Like you have not seen something happen at your home and you have seen kids doing something and you overlook. उर्दू में जिसे कहते हैं नज़र चुराना. You have seen something but you act like that you have seen nothing. और आखिरी नसीहत है व तग़फ़ुरु. तग़फ़ुरु is that you cover their mistakes. It's like you have a towel, and with towel you just cover something. So you cover the mistakes of your family, your loved ones, my brothers and my sisters. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. When you expect, when you do mistake, when you wrong yourself, and it happens to all of us every day, you expect from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He forgive you and He pardon you and He ignore your mistakes. When you are expecting that from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Allah is commanding you that you should deal with your family. Ta'afu wa tasfahu wa taghfiru. You pardon them, you forgive them, you give them room to function, and you overlook their mistakes, and then you cover their mistakes. This is the advice from the Quran, my brothers and my sisters. Then our beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has said, Allah loves three marks. Allah loves two marks. Allah loves two tears, and Allah loves two swallows. And one of the swallow, जिसे घूंट पीना कहते हैं, गुस्सा पीना कहते हैं, one of the swallow that Allah loves the most, that when you are angry, you swallow, you channelize, you check, and you response when you are angry. So you channelize, you control yourself, you swallow, and after well thought, then you respond to the issue. And Allah loves that person who channelizes his anger, who controls his anger. And this is one of the swallow that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes the most. In Hajjatul Wada, and right before departure from this dunya, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had advised to you and me. At Hajjatul Wada, he said, take care of your woman. And right before his departure from this dunya, he says, take care of your woman and your weak ones. The one who are dependent on you, take care of them. Be nice to them, because they are under your supervision. And people who are around you, they are dependent on you. They are very fragile. They are weak people. And you know, by the way, we get angry usually on people who are weak. People that we are angry with, these are the people, they are dependent on. We never get angry on somebody who is stronger than us or who has higher status than us. And some of the scholars, they say this is also sign of takabbur as well. That when you encounter some issue with somebody who is stronger than you, you just, stop yourself and you just walk away from there. You don't say anything. But when weak one does something wrong, then we react and we say whatever we could, and we use the words as strong as we could. So my brothers and my sisters, the hadith of Prophet ﷺ, that take care of your women and take care of your weak ones. And there was a teacher of Imam Malik rahmatullah alayh, and he said, do not say things about which tomorrow you have to regret and you have to apologize to the pupil. So watch your words, what you say. Now I'm going to go through some of the tips that what we can do in these days so that we can keep our family strong, our connection is strong, and we can have healthy relationship, and if anything happens, so we can handle that. First thing I will advise my brothers and my sisters, have a family gathering, family meeting, family halaqa, family shura, family consultation, and plan. We don't know this lockdown and these issues of viruses, how long they are going to go, but this is a healthy way regardless, even if we are not in this situation, to have a family halaqa, family gathering, family sitting, where we all talk to each other and we can plan our days ahead, that how we are going to spend, plan some activity that all of you can do together. Like after iftar, you can sit down and after reading Taraweeh and Salatul Isha, have some, talk, listening to some talk on TV about Dora Quran, Tafsir of Quran, some motivational speeches. I was just going through some books with my family. Some activity and involve your whole family. Give assignment to your kids that we are going to do Asma'i Husna, or we are going to read one hadith, or we are going to read few pages from Quran, some tafsir. Assign to everybody in your family some assignment. Teamwork, involve the whole family. And this is the best time that we can do some programs, to learning programs for self-motivation, that how we talk to each other, how we use proper words, how we handle with each other. I'm angry, that how I should handle my anger. Sit down with family and plan, my brothers and my sisters. And this is the really good time for us to connect with our family that we have missed, because we were going in the wrong direction. Because of our jobs and our engagements, we have really, sacrificed our families in the past. So let's reconnect, our family. One thing I will also say is that for husband and wife both, never argue in front of your kids. If you have issue, then you should also, both of you should go in some other room and try to find the solution of a problem, or discuss. If you have issue with the child, you two should discuss how we should handle and who can handle this issue better. Do not argue in front of your kids. Imam Ahmad Rahmatullah alayhi, I will share with you his example. When his wife died, he stood next to her janaza and he said one beautiful thing. And he said that this woman was married to me for 40 years, but we never had any fight. We never had any argument. After the tadfeen, burial of his wife, some of his students, they came to Imam and asked, how is that possible that for 40 years you were with this woman and you never had fight? And this is what he said. And these are his words, should be written with gold, my brothers, gold. Because this is what I have practiced in my home, and wallahi, this is the solution. And this is what we see from the life of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Let me finish what he said, Imam Ahmad. He said, whenever at home I was angry on something, she was quiet. She will stay quiet. She will say nothing at that time. And when she was angry about something, then I will smile, I will stay quiet, and I will let her talk. Because if both of you get angry and get in argument at the same time, then this is not going to go anywhere other than destruction. And that's what we see, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's life. One time Hazrat Aisha was, upset about something, Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha, but Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam kept smiling. And whatever happened, I don't have time to go in the detail, but the response of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was smiling. And he said to the companion at that time sitting with him, your mother is angry today. Your mother is mad and upset about something today. This is the key to keep the relationship strong, that if one party is angry at home, the other one should keep quiet, smile, and then once the solution, things calm down, then you can, share your point of view. My brothers and my sisters, because when one is angry, I said there is a disconnect between us and our intellect, our brain. So we will not be able to receive any logic at that point. So there is no point of trying to do correction at that particular time. Now, if there is a issue at your home and you feel very strong about it, my suggestion will be, a lot of time what happens that I don't like something in my child, or I don't like something in my wife, or my wife doesn't like something in me. We keep that to ourselves. We do not share with the other party. And then there is a compound effect. Then these things will get to the boiling point, like a pressure cooker, and then we will have this blast. The best approach is that if you don't like something about somebody, then you should go approach that person in privacy and let that person know that I really, this is something which bothers me. This is something I don't like. This is something which makes me very comfortable. Because until and unless you will share that with that particular person, how in the world he will know that you have some issue and problem with that person? So especially in our homes. So let the person know what the problems are. And one more thing I will say, that we always should look at our mistakes as well. A lot of time, we try to find mistakes of others, but we forget ourselves. I'm willing to give million excuses to myself, but I'm not ready to give even one excuse to the other person. And this is one of our weaknesses. So one thing I will always say, that sit down sometime and analyze the situation. That the situation, is this really the situation the way I'm looking at it? Is this the right perspective? Is there something that I have done which has aggravated the situation, and how I can solve? So if you will calm down, anger is really a few second thing. And if you come out from that situation just for a few seconds, your mindset will be different. And if you look at your video when you were angry, you will be surprised how in the world I said what I said, and how I acted the way I acted, because that's a different situation. So always try to find your own mistake, our own mistakes, my brothers and my sisters. And in the last, I will say, always make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give barakah in your home. Fi buyutin azina Allahu an turfa'a wa yuskara fi hasmuhu yusabbihu lahu fiha bil ghuduwi wal asal. Surah Nur. This is how we want our houses. Our houses should be the houses of peace. Our houses should be the houses where we have tranquility. We have understanding with each other. Yes, we will have some conflicts. We will have some issues. We will collide with each other, time to time. But overall, our houses are houses of sakina, houses of peace. And these are the houses that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning in Surah Nur. From these houses, you will see, the sound of the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the houses where people are praying. These are the houses from where you will hear the hamd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will hear durood, salutation on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is a blessed month of Ramadan we are going through. And this is the month that we should remind ourselves that our houses should be the houses where angels, they surround our houses. Because the houses where you have Allah's name and people are reading Quran, then these houses, angels, they see from sky like we see stars from the earth. And brothers, remember, not every angel has a permission to read Quran. So whenever we read Quran in our houses, that angels, they surround our house and they call other angels. So the easiest way to gather angels around you is to read Quran. So we stand up in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we do zikr in our house, We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives in our houses tranquility, sakina, peace, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us all to pass through this difficult time we all are going through. And we all are, in a journey, and we all learn every day, including myself. Every one of us learn every day, and we teach each other, we learn from each other. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He keep all of us in peace, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala resolve the issues we are facing today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep our families together and intact. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us wisdom and tawfiq that we handle our family issues in the best possible way. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.